Welcome to the Bridges Hip Hop, man. CEO Talks. I got my man Ugly Money Meechy in the building.
Love and respect, man.
Man, love and respect, man. I saw you putting out your campaign, for the week, and it's like, just wanted to be. I just wanted to embrace it, man,
yes,
because, we got a story and
yeah,
people don't even know about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just let it be breaking news tonight.
Let's
you know
get
what I'm
it.
saying?
Let's
I used to own a club in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And one of the promoters that was, working my club, I don't know how y'all found each other. You could tell the story, but I know that the first time I walked in the club and heard you on the mic,
oh man, I
was like, that man has got amazing talent.
Love. It's crazy. I got linked in to Gulfport in the Cold Coast situation. I've been doing fight nights in Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And the guys that used to own the ring, shouts out Jay and Zoe, they were trailblazers of their own rights. They would go all over the country to try to find us places to bring meat. And I never forget, Zoe had locked in, Gulfport at Blue Envy. Blue Envy. Blue Envy. He had locked it in, and I remember.
Zoe was my guy.
Yeah, Zoe was calling me like, yo, we gonna get you on this joint or whatever. And at first, people were apprehensive because they was like, well, who is this guy? Why we need him? Right? And so they was like, well, what we need him for? We got plenty of people to be on the mic. And then, shouts out to Zoe, man. I got to give him credit, man. He vouched for me. He was like, nah, you got to understand. There's hosts and then there's Nietzsche or P. Nice at the time.
Yeah.
And I never forget when the first time I walked into Blue Envy, they were all looking at me because about 15 minutes later, I was coming from Atlanta, and they were all looking at me, and I grabbed the mic, and I said, and I walked up to the DJ, and the DJ looked at me. All of them was like, who the hell is this nigga from Atlanta? And I cut the mic, and I said, Keisha Jones, your food stamp card declined, your mama outside. After that, it was over with, man. We just had a crazy time, and I can definitely honestly say that, Blue Envy is still top 5 clubs that I've ever been to in my life. As far as just great fun, as far as vibe, like that thing used to go up. And the type of numbers we were doing on a Monday night was phenomenal.
Well, listen, man.
You know what I mean?
And I'm going to tell you, man, when my partners at the time, came to me with the idea, I was like, let's just try something new.
Yeah.
And people not gonna know this, man, but go ahead and tell them who our guest was that night, bro.
Oh man,
you don't even remember, do you?
Don't say Cardi B.
That's who it was.
Don't say Cardi B.
That's who it was.
Because I remember that.
And
night.
we went viral.
Hey, I went crazy. I ended up on Cardi B page. They couldn't tell me nothing.
Bro, listen, this was the beginning. Cardi B.
Yes, sir.
Off of Love and Hip Hop, she posted our fight night.
Sir.
We went
yes,
viral.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta give you some news. You know that damn fight night closed my damn club, man.
What? Hey,
man, listen, man. Hey, look, that was the first time I got introduced to ABC.
Okay,
Alcohol and beverage control.
Well, see, when you
they
start
brought some female.
Yes, sir.
Activity along with your fight night.
Yeah. We turn up in them things. We used to. What happened at Blue Envy stayed at Blue Envy until it got out.
Until it got out.
but
we made the Shave Room. We made TMZ.
World everywhere. World Star. We stayed on World Star.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. World Star. But you was the star though, man.
Respect.
And I'm gonna tell you, like being in entertainment for 30-something years and being able to recognize talent.
Yes, sir.
I knew you was a boss, man.
I
knew you was a boss, and I knew that you was gonna build a brand. And then I relocated to Atlanta, in 2017 as an effort to, expand my brand.
Yes, sir.
Because I had, the club we had sold the club or whatever and got out the club business. I used to have some other companies that I sold, and so I just kind of, just uprooted my family, man, and came to Atlanta because I had already been flying back and forth out here doing business with Love and Hip Hop.
Yes, sir.
Zeno was one of my clients, and Althea was one of my clients, and I was working with Dave MAYS with the Hip Hop Weekly magazine. These were some things that I was doing in the background.
Yes, sir.
So we had a nice little run with that.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had established some really good relationships in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times, people like, hey, bro, you been out here and you grinding. I was like, nah, it's not that, man. It's the people that I'm able to connect with.
Respect.
So, just bringing you on to what I call the beginning phases of CEO Talk.
Come on.
Man, I just want the world to understand, the hustle and bustle of being a CEO,
yes, sir.
A chief executive officer of your brand.
Yes, sir.
Because brand building is so important. AMS, which stands for Artist Management Services, not ALVIN MAYS Senior.
Okay.
Was established in 2007.
Wow.
And since then, it's been a multitude of brands. So, you know, this interview is about you and me because it's CEO Talk.
Yes, sir.
But, man, just, you know, coming from where we actually met each other, and this was years ago, so we got history.
Yeah.
And I call it support history because at that time, I was a club owner and I was able to make a decision to, you know, financially support traveling somebody with your talent to Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
And we broke barriers that had never been broke before.
No, facts.
First time fight night was ever introduced into a nightclub.
Come on.
And we was doing numbers.
Ridiculous.
ridiculous numbers. But I'm going to tell you, the city went fire.
Yeah.
And you introduced a new element, a new brand. And it's just so humbling to see where you are right now, man. So I just want to give you this platform to talk about from that to now.
Wow. Well, you know, I started out. I always had a knack for getting people in the building. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I always had a gift for gab. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody taught me that. I think that's something I was born with. And so, you know, knowing that you could put a mic in my hand and I knew what to say. I didn't know before you put the mic in my hand, but once the mic got in my hand, all the words came to me. You know what I'm saying? It was never scripted or anything like that. And so, you know, it got to the point where I was booked all over the South all the time. You know what I'm saying? From this club to this club, from this city to this city. And I started making relationships. And, you know, so when you go into these different places and you finding the who's in each city, you finding the big dogs, the CEOs, the bosses, the owners, the bad people, the good people, you're finding out. But, you know, your contact list gets a little big.
Yeah.
And once you get your contact and your network up, you know what I'm saying, it's a lot easier to move around because you can make this call, this person's going to answer. You can make that call, this person's going to answer. And so when I started Ugly Money, when I finally, because, you know, I was signed with 8 Ball and MJG as an artist, and shouts out to Ball and G.
Yeah.
But
cool
when I
brothers, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool
so when
brothers.
I made the transition from coming to a hip hop artist / host to basically a businessman, I changed my name to Ugly Money Nietzsche. I launched this brand. What I saw was a gap in the industry. I saw that artists with talent had so much red tape to get through to get to a label or get to a situation. It was, you know, this guy got to get his percentage, that guy got to get, and by the time the artist gets signed or the artist gets on, he done depleted all his percentages, and you know, the artists are a lot of times, you know, in the negative. And I was like, well, my network is huge now because I went to all these places. I went through all these places and made all these relationships. And so I launched Ugly Money in 2020, COVID, and it just started as something as simple as I was on live and a guy asked me to play a song. And I was like, well, I'm over here, you know, that's when we were all stuck in the quarantine. We weren't doing much of nothing. And I was like, oh, well, you know, if you send me $20 and I'll play it right now.
Yeah.
And me not thinking that that he was really gonna do it. He's like, send me your cash app. And I sent my cash app. Joker messing around and sent me $20. And I said, oh Lord, okay, I'm gonna play this boy's song. And by the time I got in the email to play his song, another dude had sent me a $20 too. He said, play mine right after his. And I sat on that live for an hour, and I never forget the girl. I had a girlfriend at the time. I went back after about an hour. I said, babe, I made $200 on the live. And she said, well, if you promoted it, do more. And the next day, and given we're all in quarantine, so we ain't doing nothing.
Hey, that's some CEO talk right there.
Listen, this is how the humble beginning started. Started with $20. And so next day, she said, if you promote it, you know, more people going to want to tap in. I say, well, I'm going to do it. Next day, I did it. I promoted it. I mean, I had about 50 artists come in there, you know, sending their music in. And the guy that had won was a guy from the country. He's from a southern part of Georgia, but he was a singer. And I was like, man, he's dope. And then I realized, I was like, man, Jazzy Faye would love this guy. Me not knowing that my relationship with Jazzy is not, everybody can't just access people like that.
Yeah.
But that's my partner. And so I called Jazzy, and something told me, record it, babe. Record, so this boy know that I really called Jazzy for him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't promised him that. I'm just looking out.
Yeah.
I called Jazzy. I said, hey, man, I'm sending you a record. Jesse said, "Oh boy, okay, send it to me. You never asked me about records. Send it." He sent through. I sent him the record. He calls me back. I said, "Babe, film it." He said, "Man, where he at? Send him to me. Bring him to Atlanta." And that's what really kicked it off with Ugly Money. And then, you know, that turned into tours. We sent someone to Moneybag Yo, which is hard to do. We sent someone directly to Gunna and YSL. They ended up picking that kid up. We sent several people to Boosie's and offered them several deals. And so what I wanted to do was just cut out the red tape, cut out the riff, you know, just cut out the noise. And let's get the talented artists to the label and vice versa. And that's where we, you know, we really were able to have a lot of success of just actually helping people.
And I'm gonna tell you, man, like when they say the laws of six, man, it's
Yes,
the
sir.
laws of six.
Yes, sir.
Because my whole vision for AMS as a CEO was
Yes, sir.
artist management services.
Yes, sir.
And that's what AMS stands for. And this was in 2007 when I saw the big labels not wanting to do artist development anymore.
Exactly.
So that's kind of like where my brand was created from. And I built this $1 million facility in Mississippi. And then, you know, now I have a nice facility here in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
And it's just really about exactly what you're saying, man, just giving artists an opportunity.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the laws of six worked in our favor, and here we are, man, talking about, you know, this. And, you know, for me, it was just, I didn't see the artist development. So it's like, what can I do that, you know, that artists can have some type of opportunity? So we work with budgets of all, you know, it doesn't matter how much you got, because if you got $1,000, you know, we can only give you $1,000 worth. You know that.
Well, you know, I have a saying, you know, my boy Rap Juggernaut always says this. He says,
That's my guy.
he
That's the GOAT.
He says, small budget, no problem. No budget, big
problem.
right? You know, you don't got to have all the money in the world, but at the end of the day, if we're doing business, it's got to be some business involved.
Yeah, man, business, and that's why I wanted to create this platform
Yes, sir.
as for CEO Talk. Business is business. There cannot be any business without revenue stream.
Yes, sir.
Nobody operates in a deficit.
Come on, man.
So even as a boss, you know that we have to create multiple platforms of income.
Exactly.
So one thing that I saw when I created the artist management services,
Yes, sir.
I wasn't making no damn money. So this is how we met.
Yeah.
Man, I was losing money out the yin yang, bro.
Okay.
And I created AMS Music Events, which was my concert and touring promotional company. And then I saw a bag from promoting concerts and doing arena shows, and I was like, okay, now I can fund AMS with this.
Okay.
I can give artists a stage
Yes,
with
sir.
this,
Yes, sir.
which I see you doing the same thing.
Yes, sir.
And then, lo and behold, I still wasn't making enough money. I was like, okay, now I'm traveling all over the world doing shows.
Yeah.
I need a venue in Gulfport. And so that's how we came up
Yes, sir.
with Envy.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, the way Envy was built, you know this, we built it with the artist green room in the back. You walk up to the stage, it was a lot of money
was laid,
invested.
baby.
It was a
laid.
lot of money
Yes,
invested
sir.
in that.
Yes, sir. It was
I mean,
laid.
I know for a flat fact, me and my investment group, we put about $700,000 into that building.
I saw it.
Yeah, it was an old shopping center that we literally gutted out, and the architectural designs was $100,000 alone.
Well, you know, a lot of people in this business, or in any business, they look at the CEO or they look at the owner and they think that they're just making tons of money, right? Unfortunately, people just pocket watch. But what people don't understand is there's things called expenses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that expense is real. You know what I'm saying? In order, and what a CEO has to know how to do is to put up money to make money. But at the same time, a lot of times we're the last people to get paid.
We're the last ones to get
You know what I'm
paid.
saying? Because that, you know, you got to make sure your staff is good. You got to make sure your contractors is good. You got to make sure the water is on. You got to make sure the lights is on, the cable, and,
The last ones to get
everybody
paid,
gets
man.
paid. And then all of a sudden, you know, you're left with the leftovers sometimes. And, you know, I just think it's a main misconception that we are just eating off of people. Like, no, brother, I put my money where my mouth is each and every
Exactly,
time.
bro.
You know, that's one thing. Like, in the last year alone, I've invested over $250,000 into my artists personally, and I've given away over $100,000 to complete strangers. You know what I'm saying? And It's not a lot of people doing that, but a lot of people will perceive that, oh, it's just getting money. No, you got to understand, in order for this platform to survive, we have to make a profit. In order for me to be able to give an opportunity to you to take you to a money bag, yo, I have to be able to make a profit to get you there.
Exactly.
And so a lot of people will want the opportunity, but they don't want to do the business to get the opportunity. I'm like, well, brother, money bag, yo, is just not gonna let you just walk up on them or whatever and say hi. You feel what I'm saying? There's some business involved that we got to do with Bag to get some of his time.
Man, listen, I was watching Lil Baby on an interview, and
Yes,
he
sir.
was like, if I didn't know you then, I don't know you now.
Come on.
So I came up with this thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? and it's never a hand out for AMS.
Come on, man.
It's always a hand in.
Let's go.
So I couldn't even be obliged to even invite you if we haven't had some type of conversation of business.
Yes, respect.
Which means you got a lot of respect for me because your brand is big.
Yes, sir.
And my brand is big,
Yes,
but
sir.
if you would have said, man, I'll come do your podcast, but I'm going to charge it, I would have had to respect that because it would have been business.
That's love.
But then we go back to
Relationships.
network is way bigger than your network.
The
You
relationships
can have
is real.
all the money in the world.
Hey, man, listen, if it was all about money, Floyd Mayweather would have the biggest record label in the world. Floyd Mayweather got more money than everybody. But yet, we can't name one artist that signed to his record label. So if it was all about money, you know, it'd be a lot of this whole landscape would be different.
Yeah.
But what you cannot buy is respect, and you cannot buy relationships. A person can have all the money in the world, but you know what? You don't got the relationships I got. You can't go on your phone and call the people that I can call and they pick up and they listen to. And I think that is a unsung hero, and that is one of the most valuable things. The fact that I can call ALVIN MAYS and he's gonna pick up and listen to what I have to say. And even if we may not make no business happen this time, the fact that he'll hear me out and he can call me and vice versa. The network is the network, man. That stuff. Relationships is priceless. As long as you have relationships, you'll never go broke.
Bro.
We can always bust a bag down.
Yeah, we can always. But man, listen, we can always bust a bag
Yes,
down.
sir.
So I want to ask you some things, man. You know, because I know for me, it's been years of frustration, but my passion is I got way more passion than I got frustration.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm not bragging,
Mhm.
but I got way more other business opportunities to allow this to frustrate me. So for a lot of people that want to get into the music business, they get frustrated and they get broke because
course.
they don't create those revenue streams.
Yeah.
So you know where I'm going with this. I just want to I know for me, I've had frustration, but I wake up the next morning and it's still that same passion
Yes,
because
sir.
what I want to allow is somebody that's frustrated me in this whole music world, entertainment world, to not allow me to give the next person an opportunity. So, for you, what has been some things that have frustrated you, and what I'm saying, how did you challenge that and overcome it and continue your journey with the whole ugly money, baby? Ugly ain't no such thing as ugly money, but I'm gonna let you say
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir. Well, the thing about it is, you got to have a passion for this anyway. If you're in this game and in this business or any business that just for the money, you know what I'm saying? At least in the hip hop industry, you're not going to do well, because a lot of times the money doesn't come quick and the money doesn't come fast, and it may not come as much as you want it to come. So we're most of us are in it because we love to do it. That's the thing that we wake up and love to do. But one thing I would say that frustrated me is I love the process. I love the ups and downs. I love the bumps and bruises. But what may consider me frustrating is when you pour into something and it doesn't pour back. When you put your all into something and you invest your time, your energy, your efforts, your relationships, and nothing comes back. Like, I've had situations where I've invested $80,000 in an artist. He didn't bring me one penny back. That's frustrating. And it's not about the money, it's about the mindset of, okay, if I believe in you to the point where I put my money where my mouth is, hey, I'm backing you. I'm gonna give it my all. I put 80 grand up. Every big blog, every big podcast, give him all the looks he got. So you mean to tell me when a person books you for a couple $100, you're not even gonna at least ask and say, hey man, you good, big dog? And so sometimes you get people in this industry that will pull that will take and won't give.
That's it, man.
That is frustrating.
Yeah, that's that coming into the situation with that.
But those people never prosper.
No, they never prosper, man. And I mean, like I've heard the stories of P and Coach and how they, you know what I'm saying, poured everything into, you know, to the Migos, and we're gonna get to that because, you know, today is a sad day and we actually doing this today, so we definitely gotta talk about it. But I mean, you know, you can see where when you get reciprocated what you're putting in,
yes, sir,
what the outcome actually becomes.
So,
you know, so I join you in that same frustration, man, and that's that. You know, I always come into my situations with a hand out.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a hand into it versus a hand out.
Yes, sir.
So like me inviting you here was like, I saw you doing something, so I wanted to put a hand into what you was doing and support what you was doing.
That's love.
And this is gonna be a huge platform.
Yes, sir.
And I'm investing in it, and I'm long enough to keep going until it gets where it needs to be.
Hey man, you know, I always said, man, you know what I'm saying, I'm stopping when I'm finished.
Yeah.
And when I'm done, you know, I'm gonna be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, artists come and go, but you know, the business people, they're here. These relationships last decades.
Man, listen, man.
And so, you know, the players, you know, the players change, but the teams pretty much stay the same.
But that's because, man, this is CEO talk.
Come on.
Okay, so I could wake up tomorrow and never get in front of a computer or social media, which I never was. I'm gonna say never because that's an absolute. I wasn't on social media until I met my partner G Fields.
Yeah.
And he introduced me to the whole social media world. I was always the guy behind the scene because I don't know what it was, but I didn't want people to know, you know, how much money I had or I just kind of wanted to just stay behind the scenes and support. You know what I mean? So I'm coming out of my shell. You know what I'm saying? And I'm about to work on the whole public figure thing.
There's pros and cons to it. There's pros and cons to it.
And so for me, man, it's just, you know, being able to get you on this was like a blessing because I see your brand doing this.
Love, respect.
So I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna want to catapult on top of you. You know, with what you're doing. I've been watching the podcast. I follow every channel you got. You're gonna see ALVIN MAYS. I follow the summits, and then I saw you going to see my guy Tony Neal.
Come on.
You know, with the core DJs. That's family. We both Virgos, so you already know.
Shout out Tony Neal.
You know, shout out Tony Neal, man. Like, there's a lot of vets that I see you and I have great relationships with, and it's all about just continuing to network, but you know, don't come into the situation expecting people to give you anything.
No, you know, and the thing about it, man, ALVIN, is that's what people don't understand. A lot of times we come from nothing, and what I mean by nothing is no help, no guidance. I didn't exactly have a big homie to show me the ropes, and so, you know, when I got to a position where I could be a blessing to others and be a lesson to others, you know, that's something that I look forward to. I was like, well, I want to be the person that I wanted when I was coming up. When I was a youngin' and I was coming up in this game, I didn't know exactly what to do. I knew I wanted to rap, and I was good at it. And you know what? I would have loved to have some guidance. I would have loved to have a tour guide through this game because it's a maze. And so, you know, but at the same time, it also makes you stronger because of the fact of the matter is that maybe nobody did believe in you, and everybody counted you out, and nobody wanted to help you, and nobody wanted to support you. So what that does is that toughens your skin.
Call it bootstrapping.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
You don't know about bootstrapping, man.
You had to fall down a couple times and dust the dirt off. You know what I'm saying? Your knees a little, you know, but it makes you stronger and it turns you into a beast. So I always said, like, sometimes when I used to lose, I would win because I always learned a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I actually would learn more in loss. I would learn more in failure than when I would win. But it turned me into a beast. It turned me to a situation where there is nothing that I'm scared to fail at. So there's nothing that I'm not scared to try. I'm never scared to try it.
Man, listen, man. When I first got into real estate investing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I did say that. I have real estate, a big portfolio.
Come on, let's go.
So I can wake up in the morning. I can never have. I don't never ever have to do entertainment again in my life.
Residual income.
And the residual income and what I call generational wealth.
Yeah, I got some quiet properties.
Yeah, so you know, generational wealth has been created for me, my family, my kids, and my grandkids, and my grandkids that I'll never ever probably ever get to meet.
Yes, sir.
They're still gonna be taken care of. So if you're wishing for me to fall, you could just keep wishing because that's God gonna have to help you with that.
Well, that's a side effect of success. You know what I'm saying? You don't see anybody hating on homeless people.
No.
You don't see anybody hating on broke folks. There's nothing to hate on. But you know what? Unfortunately, through 400 years of oppression, especially with our brothers and sisters, a lot of times we're programmed to hate each other.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Hey, this guy's doing good. Oh, we got to tear him down. Or, oh, this guy built something beautiful. Oh, we got to tear it down. No, what you should be doing is taking notes.
Bro, listen.
What you should be doing is paying attention. What you should be doing is cheering this man on, because you know what? Whatever doors he breaks down, it's easier for you to come behind. But once again, a construction worker will make minimum wage when an architect makes millions.
Exactly.
We're architects. We build things.
Exactly,
it
man.
takes time, energy, effort, skill, intelligence to build something. Any dumb dude with a ball can tear something down. But that's what you make, why you make what you make, and that's why CEOs make what they make.
Hey, man.
And look, I'd rather be the architect than the construction worker. No disrespect.
I want to give you your flowers while you're here, man, because following you from a social media platform, sitting here talking to you, like, man, I salute you.
Love.
And I mean, like I know you're gonna be, super prosperous in your endeavors, and man, just keep going any way that I can support you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. I haven't invested in any of the summits yet, and I'll admit that, but I've invested in you, and I'm gonna continue to watch you grow, and I'm just a call away. But
yes, sir.
I mean, whatever you need, bro, we'll make it happen. You know what I'm saying? We'll make it happen.
We ain't got to rush it. We won't be here.
Exactly, we're gonna be here, man. So, I wanna get into this because this just wouldn't be a segment, man. Without how you feel developing artists, because I saw an artist that I worked with.
Yes, sir.
Got features with Cash Out. Got features with Rich Homie Quan. I invested a lot of money as artists, and then when we no longer started working together, unfortunately, he ended up in a situation where he ended up getting himself incarcerated. Everybody's responsible for their own actions. And now we're seeing rappers that that their lives are being taken because of the way that they're moving, and, and so forth. I just want to briefly touch on that, man, because it's not a subject that I want to, it's so much news coverage, but I just, it wouldn't be this segment, because today we lost Takeoff, and I remember booking the Migos. I remember
me too.
I remember booking them for shows, and I was mad because they didn't perform my favorite song, which was Versace, and I was mad because they was working the new album.
Yeah.
So I didn't get a chance to see them up close and personal, but man, they was some really cool guys, from my experience and dealing with them, and I got a chance to work with Dolph, got a chance to work with Mo3.
Yeah. And
I'm saying these names because for me it's just a sad day, especially when I've had the opportunity to cross paths and I can see the talent, from Bankroll Fresh. I got a chance to work with him. So just like, and when I say work with, because I have my music entertainment touring company, I booked a lot of these talents.
Exactly.
Even 8 Ball and MJG came to my facility in Mississippi, and Slim Thug, me and Trey, over 300 shows a year. Trust me, I done met everybody.
Come on, man.
So it's not about that, but it's just just speaking on, even when I started working with Lil Durk, Chino was his manager then. Chino actually had got killed.
Wow.
And that was when Durk actually had to rebrand itself. From that situation, because Chino was the guy that was really pushing him and calling me and trying to make things happen for him in the South, and so I felt really good, being a part of. I always like to say just being a part of that.
Yes, sir.
I remember when I was working with Zoe, and he brought Lucci to me.
Yep, I remember that.
And we started promoting Lucci in Mississippi. And it's just like I said, those stories just go on and on, right?
For sure.
So I'm not gonna dwell on those, but those guys are known. I never got a chance to meet Nipsey, which I started following his music when he sold the $1,000.
The mixtape.
The mixtape. I started following him because that was that CEO business.
Exactly.
So this just wouldn't be my segment if I just didn't at least give you an opportunity to just talk about that.
Takeoff. I had opportunity. First time I met the Migos, I was doing clubs in Augusta, Georgia. I was a club promoter back then, and I remember I booked the Migos. I was on the radio as well, so I booked the Migos for $2,500. $2,500. And I remember talking to Coach K.
I didn't get him that cheap.
Yeah.
By the time I got him, it was 20,000.
Yeah, this was before Versace. Before Drake got on Versace, they had a song with a guy named Q that was talking about 100 band swiping. They had just like started buzzing in Atlanta. I got them early, really early. And I remember me and Coach K were talking on the phone. He was like, "Hey, you can play the record. You play the record, I give you a good price." I was like, "All right, cool. I'll play the record." And even back then,
that's that deal, baby.
Yeah, you know, he understood like, hey, if you can look out for me, I'll look out for you. And I remember I almost got fired.
That's why that company's strong.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because he understood that money wasn't the only compensation for anything. And he was like, "Man, if you stay on top of this record, whatever, I'll give you a price you can't refuse." And I remember I almost got fired from the radio station. I was spinning that damn Migos record.
You know you ain't supposed to put the records in.
I was spinning it.
You ain't supposed to put the records in.
What I was working it in, right?
You try to get that price.
I spun that record, man. I spun Versace.
You try to get that price.
Man, listen, man, I spun Versace. He's like, "Man, you give me something." So I remember they came, you know what I'm saying? They did the show. Offset was locked up. And they both came with free Offset t-shirts, man. And the next time I saw him, I was actually a rapper by then, and I was opening up. Actually, we were
I got something for you since you're a rapper.
Yeah, we were co-headliners.
We got something for him, D. We got something for him since he's a rapper.
So you know, it's a tragedy, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just give my condolences to the family. You know, Takeoff was the quiet one. He didn't bother nobody. So you know, I just hope that there's some justice, and I think that people should focus on who pulled the trigger. You know, they focus on a lot of different things. Focus on who pulled the trigger. Whoever pulled the trigger, that's the person that you need to go get. That's the person that we need to, you know what I'm saying, to
who couldn't just let a brawl happen.
Exactly.
Who couldn't just let a fight happen.
Yeah.
When
and I think it's time for people to start knuckling up some more. Man, put them guns down. I mean, take an ass whooping.
And I mean, it looked like a private and closed situation. It could have just been a brawlful and broken up, and the person that pulled the trigger could have been, his life has changed forever, whatever side he was on, and the person that lost his life, his family's life. I mean, it's just unfortunate.
Yes, sir. You know, it's a sad, it's a travesty because, you know, Offset is a legend in his own right. Them guys have, you know, made their mark in hip hop forever. Man. You know, and yeah, man, put the guns down, man. You know,
it was our Jackson 5s to the rap game.
Come on, man. Come on. You know, and that's the thing about it. From, you know, and I don't want to speculate about what happened, but the things that we're hearing, allegedly, it's just like, hey, man, put it down. Don't go pick up the gun. You know what I mean? You and half of y'all don't even know how to use them because you shooting at somebody else and you hit the wrong person. And so why don't we just put them down? If you have a disagreement with somebody, man, hey, look, at the end of the day, we can go out back and we can handle it like men. If not, let's go our separate ways. But at the end of the day, let's make it home to the kids.
Make it home.
Let's make it home to our kids. Whether you make it home with a black eye or busted lip, you know what I'm saying, you still made it home. And that's one thing that I do like about the past, where we could just, hey, man, we got a problem, hey, we're going to handle it like men.
Hey, man,
I remember. And you know what? You'll actually respect that man more after you fought.
Man, listen, guys that I had knuckle fights with growing up, man, we friends today.
For sure.
We not enemies, we friends, man.
Because it's respect. It's like, you know what?
We talk about the hood fight. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And I just think that, I think this new generation is missing that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, man, look, everything is not everything doesn't require a pistol to be pulled.
It doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you are in physical danger or harm for your life, why are you grabbing a pistol? Unless you're a coward.
Gotta be,
you're scared. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I just never understood. Hey, man, if a guy and you got two arms just like he got two arms, what you grabbing a pistol for? You're scared. You're scared you're gonna get your ass scared. You feel what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I can't respect. Like, hey, man, a lot of these dudes be punks. On the low, they be punks. And I just be like, but you want to grab a pistol and act like you hard, or you play hard on the internet, but you a punk.
Yeah, you're gonna be hard with that. You're gonna be hard with that life sentence too.
There it is.
Ain't no pistols in prison.
Come on, man.
You gonna have to fight when you get in there.
Yes, sir.
You gonna be able to grab that gun.
Nah,
you gonna be on you. I'm just glad I'm able to knuckle up. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At the end of the day, it's time to time.
Well, I mean, I appreciate your take on that, man. I just didn't want, our interview, which is going to be a presidented interview, my T.I. words.
Yes, sir.
Man, we have this segment on CEO Talk because, the Bridge is Hip Hop is, I just got to give you the background story.
Yes, sir.
The Bridge was created because of the Bridge and how hip hop has, just affected all, everything.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Even the
Facts.
podcast world.
Yes, sir.
Hip hop is, you know, like you got a lot of guys in hip hop that, you know, are doing some of the dopest podcasts and what we call real interviews that you can possibly do. So
yes, sir.
The Bridge is hip hop, you know, is our bridge from bridging the LL Cool J's. Unlike other podcasters, we won't condemn the legends. We respect the legends. The Bridge is hip hop. And this bridge is actually the Brooklyn Bridge, you know what I'm saying? Because it's representing New York City, where, you know, the origination of hip hop. Because I like paying homage to, you know what I'm saying, the founders of it. But
makes sense.
You know, so I like to. I'm creating this segment, and it's gonna be about, you know what I'm saying. Like I'm gonna ask.
Yes, sir.
You know what legends inspired you? When did you get that spark? I'm an R&B head now.
Yes, sir.
I'm an R&B head, so I'm Boys to Men. I'm Joe the Seed. I'm Keith Sweat. I'm Tank. But I fell in love with hip hop along the way. Yes, sir. I started investing in hip hop along the way because I saw, you know, the opportunities from it.
Yes, sir.
And now with it being, you know, the #1 genre,
it is.
I didn't pick a bad choice, and I still support R&B. Jacquees I had Jacquees on the road when he was young. Me and Jonathan used to work together. Scream. Oh yeah. And it was called the Kings of the Throne tour. When I worked with Jonathan and Jacquees, so my love for R&B is still there.
Yes, sir.
And we had some hip hop artists on there. And one of them was my artist. You know, that's in his unfound demise. But when he gets out, he's gonna be fine. Because he created some dope relationships before he went in with like NBA and OG33. So they kept in touch while he's been down. So hopefully they'll reach back. You know, we no longer work together, but he's a great artist, great talent. So this part of the segment, I just want to ask you, when did you fall in love with hip hop, and how has hip hop inspired you? I know you're passionate, because we ain't making no money yet. Even though I saw you pulled up in the Bentley, and I'm kind of, you know, I'm looking at your piece.
It's rented,
you know
man.
It's
rented.
You know? Hold on, let me pull my chain out. Hold on.
It's rented.
So, you know, I got on my corporate sweater, but, you know, I represent. You know, let me show off my timepieces. You know, it's about. Let me stop. But, man, when did you fall in love with hip-hop, man? And give me some legends that, you know, I know you said 8 Ball and MJG. Yeah. That's cool, but I just want you to tell me a story, man.
7th grade. I'm in gym class. A guy by the name of Keon Noggin, I'll never forget.
Okay.
He had. That's when they had the CD players with the headphones in there. And my mom and my dad, they really played R&B. They played the Whitneys, the Mariah Careys. They played R&B through the house. But when I got to middle school, and I was like, man, what you listening to? He was like, man, I'm listening to Jay-Z. I said, who is that? Like, man, I don't know who Jay-Z is, bro. I'm like, nah, and he was listening to Hard Knock Life. And I was like, man, let me hear it. And when I put that thing on, and I heard that beat, it's a hard knock life for us, I was hooked. And I was like, oh no, I want to do this. Like, Hove was, that was it for me. You know what I'm saying? When I became fascinated, not only with the music, but I became fascinated with the business. I became fascinated with what's behind the music. That's when I started producing. I started out as a producer, and I was like, well, how they take the song, how they take that song from the movie and put it in the beat and do I wanted to know the mechanics, the engineering of it. You know what I'm saying? And so, as far as artist-wise, Jay-Z is definitely one of the people that I've always respected and revered because of the fact that he was able to do the music and the business. And then from there, you know what I'm saying, all the great CEOs, the Dame Dashes, I feel that I try to take something from all of them, right?
Yeah, this man,
you know, the way that Dame Dash fought for his artists was amazing. The way that he went to bat, and that's the same way that I feel like I go out for China Monet. You know what I'm saying? The way that Birdman has managed to keep longevity, like he's still dropping hits. He still got artists. He still got new things going on. I think that that's something that I try to take in my company to set us up for a long period of time. The barriers and the doors that Russell Simmons, broke. You know what I'm saying? He broke down the doors.
Man,
and so I've never He's one
of those guys that got his bags and he's in it now.
Exactly. But he
like you said, he got finished when he was finished.
Yeah, he broke down those doors and kicked those doors in, and so I always remind myself to be fearless and as far as embarking into new territories and new things. And here recently, CEOP and Coach K, what they have created in Atlanta, will go down the test of time.
Inspiration, man.
Yeah, for sure. And that's something.
Guys,
and that's something that I look at, and I see their teamwork and their cohesion, because everybody understands their role and it makes it work. And so, I take the teamwork from them or whatever, and I just take little pieces from everybody.
You can't be great unless you follow in the greats.
For sure.
You gotta follow the guys, and you gotta know that their trials and tribulations and stuff. Man.
Yes, sir.
You gotta know what they went through in order for you to be able to, get to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
and the humility of 8 Ball and MJG, just during my tenure with them, they signed me in 2014, and I didn't retire to 2018, and just to be around, just to finally be there to see how it goes down, and to see how humble they were. The fact that they had sold all these records, and they had been, one of the world's biggest.
So anytime they come in town, you got VIP seats, huh?
Oh man, it's always gonna be love and respect. You should always respect the guy that anybody that's ever put you in a position to make some money should always have your respect.
Most respect.
You know what I'm saying? And those guys believed in me, maybe when nobody else did. And shouts out to Dew, and Jazzy Faye was a part of that situation too. So they always got my respect. Anytime they call me, it's Johnny on the spot, whatever you need, and you know what I'm saying. And it'll always be like that.
That's what's up.
Respect.
Man. I mean, I'm gonna tell you, man, like you just said a mouthful, man. And when I created my brand, I met my partner, on that right there. Somebody that believed in my vision just as much as me. I only gonna say more than me,
yes, sir.
But I can say damn near more than me.
All right.
And that's the reason our AMS brand is so strong.
Come on.
And of course, we just launched his jazz album, so this is the first time that we've actually done jazz.
Already.
And we've never promoted jazz, so we reached out and paid jazz promoters. That's that thing we talk about. And so we was able to, hit the millions of streams, create these jazz relationships, get them on jazz radio. Clark Atlanta had riding in the car, and his song came on. I'm like,
yes,
baby.
Yes, sir.
After we done spent a little bag, but
that's that trailblazing that we're talking about.
Man.
The fact of the matter is that, hey, we're not scared to go jump into a whole nother lane if we need to. You know what I'm saying? Where people will be fearful of, oh, I don't know that, or oh, I'm not accustomed to that. But like for me, that's the excitement. The fact that I don't know it. The fact that I need to go, okay, what's behind this door? And unfortunately, there's people that are scared of that door, and they'll stay on the other side, and there's other people that'll kick it down.
And man, listen, you just said another mouthful.
Respect.
And the thing is, I've spent the whole year promoting jazz. I just took a break from hip hop.
Yeah.
And just promoted jazz all year, like his campaign, and the phone still won't stop ringing. So now we just now picked up some hip hop artists that we're about to go into 2023 with.
Sir.
And you and I are definitely gonna do some business.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're gonna bridge these brands. Everything that you're doing. I'm already tapped in.
Yes, sir.
It's hard to keep up with somebody pulling up in a Bentley and a Sprinter.
I don't know what this.
That's how he
talking about. Man.
That's how he pulled up. Listen, I didn't used to brag before my partner, man, but my partner was like, "Yo, let him have it." Eh? So
sometimes we gotta pop our stuff, man.
Hey, bro,
sometimes we gotta let these folks know man, stop playing with us.
Hey, man, I've been giving it to him.
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And I've been giving it to him.
Yes, sir.
So
well, Al, we should never be ashamed of success.
I'm not,
and
man.
I think sometimes people want us to be ashamed. No, I'm not ashamed that I'm successful. I work my ass off.
Yeah, me too, bro.
You know what I'm saying? We came out the mud. Nobody gave me nothing. I didn't have no handouts, and I really didn't have too much help, except the few people that really believed in me. So I'm not ashamed of being successful. I'm not broke. I'm not hurting. You feel what I'm saying? I'm good.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to be even better.
That's
and I never will stop.
That's it.
And so if that's a problem or that offends you, that's a personal issue that you have with yourself because you're miserable. But we're not going to hide the success, man.
Oh, no.
Hey, look, we having, and we're going to have more of it. Because guess what? They could take all the money in the world from somebody.
We still going to be successful.
Come on.
Me and you.
If they take everybody starts at zero, you know that the same people are going to come up and the same people are going to be down because it's a mentality. Broke is a mentality.
Listen, man, I got a testimony that's about to come out. And I'm going to tell it to you while we talking. I woke up one morning and I couldn't feel my legs. And this was during the time with COVID. And I couldn't breathe. My partner's wife is a doctor. and my oxygen level had actually dropped down to like 60.
Wow.
And she told my wife that I was hallucinating, and we didn't know what was going on. So my wife we was investing in a new business, and she was about to go meet the contractors, and she was like, turn around, go call him an ambulance right now. So the ambulance came, picked me up, and COVID had actually attacked my spine.
Wow.
It's a neurological condition that happens 1 in 100,000. And I was rushed to the hospital. Nobody knows this, man. I didn't put it on social media. This is your first time hearing about it.
I heard that.
I was rushed to the hospital, and I woke up with a trach in my throat. True story. I woke up on the neurological ward, and I had the first of 2 spinal surgeries. After the first surgery, I started having a brain leak, so they had to go back in. Make a long story short, man, I had to learn how to walk again. So I took a break from the entertainment business. I never took a break from getting money.
Yes, sir.
I just took a break. I was out for about, a year. And so I promised my partner, because he kept everything afloat, while I was down. We never missed a beat. AMS stayed afloat.
Yes, sir.
And that was because he believed in the vision just, if not more than me.
Yes, sir.
So once I was back to health, I promised him, I was like, I'm gonna invest with you. I'm gonna do your thing. So that's why we spent the last year just focusing on jazz, because he had always, but to make a long story short, it's about what you're talking about. My lowest point was me being in a wheelchair and luckily we had the shower that my wheelchair could actually go in.
Okay.
But my wife had to bathe me. My son had to help me to the toilet and help me up. Like, it was like one of the most degrading things. I went through a point where they actually had to give me mental health, because I had never been at that point. It didn't matter how much money I had. It didn't matter, but my health was for the first time tested.
Yes, sir.
And it put me at ground zero. And here I am. I was in 20. So we're 2.5 years later. And we're building this branch, The Bridges Hip Hop. I got you on as my guest.
Yes, sir.
I do have neurological chronic pain, so I'm heavily medicated just for that. No narcos, but neurological damage that I'll be dealing with for the rest of my life. But they give me medication. So I got a new. Thank God, I had lost that weight.
Amen.
Because that's honestly and truly, I believe, what saved my life. So it wasn't the COVID, although I had double pneumonia at the time that I was dealing with the neurological condition. So it was one of those things where they had to operate. It was either operate or I was going to sit there and just the nerve damage. Well, COVID had literally took my nerves and started squeezing them.
Wow. From
the inflammation. So that's why I had lost bowel movement, and I couldn't pee, I couldn't nothing, I couldn't walk, nothing, bro. So I'm blessed to be back.
Yes, sir. Welcome back.
But that's the testimony that I'm gonna tell. But that's what it's all about, going to the bottom and then being able to dig your way back to the top.
Sure. For sure.
So the things that I'm about to do now, I just dropped 2 singles. The artists are already making the blogs, which means I still got it.
Yes, sir.
I just posted that the other day. I got some commitments from XL, XXL, and other magazines that's gonna pick them up. So I still got it.
Yes, sir.
I still got it, man.
Sir.
So, we got this segment. And, it's not a part of CEO talk, right?
Yes, sir.
But we got a recording studio inside of the building. And we got this thing behind bars.
Yeah.
Now, this won't be a segment of my show.
Yes,
it's going to be with Jess.
Okay.
Jess Wright is going to have her own show on the Bridges Hip Hop.
Yeah.
And then we got Jazz with G Fields on Sundays. So we're creating a dope network for our a dope series of podcasts under our network, the Bridges Hip Hop. But because I got the blessing and the fact that you was an artist, anything that you want to say in closing, I just feel like this was a dope interview, man. And we got more to talk about.
Yeah.
We got more to talk about. And
our story's never over.
It's never over. It's never over. You got artists, and Jess Wright would be the perfect, you know what I'm saying, host to do the artist interviews. We can get up on our platform. We got a dope website, thebridgeshiphop.com. We got a dope Instagram. You know, social media is gonna flourish, especially after this interview. Cause I know you're gonna pump it up for me. You know, that cosign. So I want to get you in the booth, man, and you know, do a little, you know, behind the bar scene, so I can have a dope little. You know, if that's, you know, that's something I ain't got a proud of you.
They say
once an artist, always an artist, right?
You know, they say when you learn how to ride a bike, you don't forget how to ride a bike.
Well, that's it, man. That's it, man.
You know what I mean? But you know, in closing, man, I would just you know, just encourage everybody, you know what I'm saying, to keep supporting Ugly Money Entertainment. Our Ugly Money podcast has grown phenomenally over the past 30 days.
Man. I love it. The Ugly Money news you put out.
Yes, sir. You know, and so and you know, I'm gonna keep on pushing the needle. I'm actually about to embark on a project in 2024, a 20,000 square foot media complex. We're gonna start doing movies, media, content creators, influencers. I believe that's where it's going. I'm gonna give the world a heads up. This is my Gary
world premiere. World premiere.
If you ain't investing in influencers now, you gonna have to pay me later. I'm telling you, all my bosses. Influencers have influence, so you know,
I'm trying to tell them.
I'm just looking forward to that, you know what I'm saying, and you know, just keep supporting my artist, China Monet. You know, I just turned down a deal on her. We'll talk about that later, but
oh man,
they gonna have to, you know, they gonna have to up it a little bit.
Hey man, I mean?
But China Monet,
and I share pretty much everything you put out.
Love,
you know,
love.
I just if it's something that I can share, and then I see talents that follow me, you know what I'm saying, headed to your events.
Yes, sir.
Then if I got two there, I did my job.
Well, you know, China Monet, and you know, we you know, we just did the music summit, and you know, my artist that won the music summit, Moody, he's right outside. D Jizzle,
gotta meet him.
Yellow Boy, you know what I'm saying? Just keep supporting us, man, and we're going to keep on doing what we say we're going to do, and that's one thing that I'm extremely proud about. The fact that if I say I'm taking somebody to Boosie, I'm taking them. If I say I'm taking you to Bag, you gonna meet Bag. You gonna meet, he gonna listen to it. If I say I'm taking you to Gunna, I'm gonna do it. I'm a man of my word. I stand on that, and can't nobody ever say that they ever gave Nietzsche no money that he didn't deliver. Point blank, period. And I stand on that, and I'm proud of that I can ride around here and nobody want to do nothing to me. Because guess what? Anytime I do business, I do it straight up each and every time. I'm extremely proud of that. You know what I'm saying? And I you know, just keep praying for us, man. Ugly Money, man.
But you know, man, in closing, you know, when it's CEO talk.
Yes, sir.
I book your favorite artist.
There it is.
How about that?
There it is.
If their ticket is $100,000,
there it is.
I give them that.
Exactly.
So when you book an artist, you really got a lot of power.
Come on. But see,
I'm not going to see the concert.
No, exactly.
I am the concert.
Yeah, no, for sure. But that's a whole different type of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
You got to be able to put your money where your mouth is.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody say they can do these things.
Hey, a lot of my relationship was created off of deposits.
Hey, man.
Hey, look, I booked Rick Ross.
Yeah.
And I did a whole arena show, right? Mm-hmm. Gave Ross $100,000.
There it is.
I gotta tell you this story. We're gonna close up. Ross said, "Man, what made you do this show in Mississippi?" I said, "Because I can." He said, "Talk your shit then, bro. You'll see the picture when you walk out in the hallway."
It's different.
And then when I booked French Montana. Mm-hmm. French Montana said, "I've never stepped foot on the soils of Mississippi."
Come on.
When I saw an offer come in for Mississippi, I told my manager, whoever that promoter is, I got to go do that show. That's a true story now. That's a true story,
a
bro.
lot of times, that's what a lot of your relation, and that's what I always encourage people to do.
Shout out to Gabe, First Montana manager. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of your business relationships come from doing business.
Yeah, man.
The fact that we have broken bread before, you know, you can call me. I'm going to pick up the phone. We broke some bread. But when we ain't broke no bread and you try to take my chili, it ain't going to make no sense to me.
Man,
I'm like, so, man, I tell everybody, man, hey, look, if you like what somebody's doing, support them. You know what I'm saying? If you feel that a person's platform is dope and can do something for you, hey, pour into it. Guess what? That's how you get them to pour into you. If you want to work with me, do some business with me. You're going to get my attention.
I'm going to pour into you, man, because I'm going to have us on every blog site I can pay for. And I ain't talking about just the write-up. I'm talking about some marketing and
They don't
advertising.
want to talk about that money,
Hey,
man.
man.
There's a lot of people that talk about it, and a lot of people that it's not that many people that walk it. It's only a few of us that
when
put
y'all
our
see
money
me
where
and
our mouth
Ugly
is.
Money
Come on, man.
on the blog,
Yeah.
I paid for it.
Come on. And it didn't hurt.
And it didn't hurt. Man, we gonna go. Man, listen, man. Listen. In closing, give you your flowers.
Thank you, bro.
I salute you. Everything you're doing, just keep doing it, man. Keep supporting these artists, man. Keep,
yes, sir.
You know, and keep giving them other visual visions outside of just rapping. Give them tools of business, because man, there's some successful executives in the background
For sure.
that once was artists. I was one.
For sure.
You
They all
was
around
one.
us. They all around us. I you know, and that's one thing I try to show my people the game. I'm like, hey man, I don't want you to have to
show them everything.
Yeah, I don't want you to have an incubation. I don't want you to have a you know, attachment to me the whole time. No, I want you to be able to thrive. You know what I'm saying? I do not get scared to pour into anybody, to give people the knowledge. No, I want you to be independent. I want you to be able to go do your thing. That's why I taught you that. You feel what I'm saying? So when you say, oh, I can do it myself, no, yeah, that's because I taught you.
To do it yourself.
Exactly, and I want you to be able to do it, so you don't gotta call me and ask me.
That's it, man.
But man, I gotta give you your flowers too, man. I have seen you time and time again redirect, restructure, rebrand, and get right back to it and have the same level of success and actually more level of success every time you come back, man. It's like, you know, you they may try to knock you down, but you keep on coming back stronger.
Like a net, man.
And that is resilience, and that is a person that's never gonna lose.
Hey, man, I
because they're gonna
appreciate
keep on coming back to their win.
Hey man, it's like a hit.
Come on, man.
Just keep hitting them until it hits. Man, we're gonna get to the behind the bars, man. We're gonna show this little clip of you in the studio, man. Once
you
again,
gonna have my rappers, you gonna have my artists seeing me.
Hey man, we you know, we can get some shots of them, and hey, I don't crank my equipment up for nobody, but successful people,
Respect,
man.
brother.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me.